Hey, folks, welcome in to the show. I'm doing a couple of things here, multitasking, as we call it. But I'm here to talk about how to become a voice actor. That's why we're here. I want to welcome everyone into this very impromptu live stream, but I had to come to you because the book is out, Becoming a Voice Actor. This morning, when I checked, I was super excited because they were listing me as the #1 new release on Amazon. And I tell you what, I just definitely want to thank everyone. So, how do I give you some applause? Yeah, I just definitely want to thank everyone that has supported me during the last 2 months that I've been putting this book together. And finally, the release is out and it is here. So I just want to, I can't say enough how much I appreciate the support from all of you voiceover artists all over the world. I do a live stream every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're following me on my YouTube channel, which is just Earl Hall Studio, you kind of see all of my links right down there. If you want to find me anywhere across the net and social media, you can find me there. This book right here, Becoming a Voice Actor, the 4 steps to get you on your way. I really put a lot into this because I know the questions that every brand new voiceover artist has in regards to, how to actually get started in this career field. It is, like most, it is not the easiest career field to get started in at all. And it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort. There's so much that you have to learn. But the reason that I put this book together was for that voiceover artist, that voice actor that hasn't made the move yet, right? It's like the first step, even in the book, is to make a decision that this is what you want to do. And a lot of times that really takes some education, it takes some research to find out if this is actually the direction that you really want to go into, right? It's one of those things, unfortunately, like a lot of different types of businesses, people think it's easy. Oh, all I have to do is get a microphone. All I have to do is have a good voice, or what you may think is a good voice. By the way, whatever voice type you have, it really doesn't matter. You can succeed in voiceover. There's just, you got to follow the steps. But everybody thinks that this is something that is super simple a lot of times to do. But you find out really quickly, just like I did, just like most voice actors, you find out that this is not the easiest thing to do. There's a lot to learn. And making the decision on whether or not you actually want to go all in on this is a decision that definitely has to be made. And then we move on even to, in the book, the second phase of this. After you've made the decision, okay, you know what, this is something that I actually want to do. I'm very interested in this. The next thing you have to start doing is buying your gear. Whether you start off with a USB microphone or whether you get an XLR microphone, and I go through all of the differentiators in this book in regards to what is, what is an XLR type of microphone. Most of us probably know what a USB microphone is, but we may not know what a condenser microphone is. We may not know what a dynamic microphone is, or an omnidirectional microphone. And this book is going to unlock a lot of that for you. This book is for that person that maybe hasn't made that decision, or you've just made the decision and you're looking for the next steps to go through. You can kind of see right here in the book, if I can get this to focus here. Maybe I can't. There it is, the table of contents, right? We've got step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I've got a bonus step in here, a second bonus step that's in there that really starts getting into how you actually start getting work, right? By the way, if you just want to say hi, or you've got questions or anything like that for me, you can definitely go ahead and put those in the chat section here, and hopefully I'll be able to see them. The reason too that I'm doing this, I needed to come and talk about the book release. And once again, thanks everyone that has already purchased the Kindle. and that is now purchasing the paperback. With that as well, the official launch of the book is tomorrow. So basically midnight tonight Eastern Standard Time is the official launch of the book. And I wanted to come on and talk about that. But also I wanted to test out my new streaming software that I'm using, which is actually StreamYard. Many of you may know, or you may not know, that I use what do you call it? Ecamm Live most of the time. But I said, you know what? I'm going to use StreamYard for some of the things that I have coming up that I want to actually be able to talk about and show and teach, especially to a lot of the voice actors that I am going to be teaching. I actually have a class coming up this Sunday. If you want any information like on that class, because it is all about getting clients. It is all about your presence online and how to improve that, and how voice actors actually need to start using social media more. I'm not going to go off into it, but we get kind of bogged down in just the pay-to-play sites and the freelance sites that are out there. But there are so many more ways that we can actually start getting work. It's not even funny. Is anybody in here? No one has left me a comment yet. So I'm used to people leave me comments or saying, hey, or what's up. But then again, it may be because maybe I'm using StreamYard wrong. Who knows? But I'll figure that out too. But you always got to test out your brand new toys that you're going to be getting as well. Inside of this book as well, we've got members like Penny. She's in the book. She's a member of my private group. It's a free private group that is mainly for people that are already past these first 4 steps, right? But Penny's in the book, and she has a story to tell. There's Ben in the book. There's William in the book. There's Michael in the book. A lot of different folks that are actually in this group, and you can find it at grindanddon'tquit.com. But again, it is for those folks that have really gotten past those initial stages. We've got one comment in here. Hi, my name is John. I would like to know, what are the necessary steps that have to be taken seriously to become a successful voiceover actor? John, this is why I wrote the book. This is literally why I wrote the book, to be able to answer that particular question, because it kind of gets deep. And when you want to know the actual steps, the necessary steps, first of all, making that decision is probably the biggest step. But then there's a lot of work that comes behind that, because then you have to start looking at things like, what digital audio workstation am I going to use? DAW. It's the software that you use to record your voice. There are many different types of DAWs that are out there. Usually the one that people start off with is called Audacity, because it's a free software download. It's an open source software, works amazing, by the way. It pretty much does everything that any other DAW would do. The only caveat, it's free. There's a different workflow for every DAW that's out there, the digital audio workstation, the software that you use to record your voice, that's out there. And then probably the most important part about necessary steps that you're asking about, John, is people don't consider the environment that they're recording in. Most people, when they first start out, and I can just use my own story, I'll never forget, I had a built out room in my basement in a previous residence that we lived in. And it was just, hard, flat surfaces, just your regular walls. And it's the most horrible place to record in. When you're recording voiceover, the most important part of the aspect, we'll just call it your chain, is soft surfaces. Soft surfaces, not your regular, like the walls you see me surrounded by, like here in this room that I'm in, but you want something that's hard, flat surfaces. Excuse me, you want something that is soft surfaces. Now, when I first started out and I figured out this whole thing, the reason why you want soft surfaces is because if you record in a room like this, you're going to get echo. That echo, your sound waves come out of your mouth, they bounce off of those hard, flat surfaces, and they bounce back in. And you can remember, hearing some audio where it sounded echoey, and that's what you don't want. The reason why you want soft surfaces is because they absorb the sound wave so that they don't bounce back in. I remember when I first started out, I just had comforters surrounding me, blankets surrounding me and above me. very makeshift studio, but it didn't matter. It produced the sound that I needed so that I could actually begin in voiceover. If you're just recording in an open room, you're going to get that echo effect. What's going on? So make the decision. You can start buying your gear, but when you go to start recording, especially when you get to the point where you want to start getting work, you need an appropriate recording environment to be able to do voiceover appropriately. Will it help me if I enroll myself to undergo training under a voice performance coach? That's a personal thing. I mean, I always think, there are many coaches that are out there that can help you when it comes to performance. There's a lot of things that I tell people to do as well, because you can't hire coaches, but you want to talk to other voiceover artists that have hired the type of coach that you're looking for. You want to reach out and see who you might kind of gel with. And then there's also things, like you could join an improv class. That's something that a lot of voiceover artists do. They join an improv class to teach them things like tonality, to teach them things like intonation, to teach them just different ways of using their voice. And it can be kind of fun. I've taken an improv class, so it can definitely be kind of fun to do that. But when you're looking in, and these are great questions, John, so thanks for asking those questions as well. These are things that everyone that is looking to get into voiceover needs to consider. What is the real motivation here? I think many voice actors have been told, hey, you have a great voice. You ought to be doing commercials. You ought to be, we ought to be seeing, or hearing your voice on television or something like that. But that does not a good voiceover artist make. This takes talent in very different arenas. When you just think about the fact of like being able to read a script and being able to read a script, not sounding like you're actually reading. And so people may say, well, how do you get to that point? And I talk about that some in the book as well, but you can grab a magazine and just start reading the advertisements in a magazine. Most magazines these days are mostly advertisements anyway. But they're literally, you can just start reading ads and pick up your smartphone and record yourself, see how you sound that way, maybe get some impressions from other folks that are out there that can listen to it as well. Join different groups, whether, you can find groups on all the different social media platforms of voice actors and get information that way. I talked about my own free group that I have at grindanddon'tquit.com, but to be perfectly honest, that group at grindanddon'tquit.com is for that voice actor that already has their gear. They're already kind of set up to do voiceover. They're in the process of trying to start to get work and things of that nature. So that's what that group is for. But the reason that I wrote this book was for you guys that are literally just starting. I mean, just starting. There's going to be links in here as well. If you get the Kindle version, which releases in the morning, you can pre-order it now. You can pre-order the Kindle, or you can even order the paperback and have that available as well. That'll be shipped out as soon as you order it off of Amazon. The link is in the description of this video. If you want to go right to the book and go ahead and grab it, please do. And again, I cannot thank enough those people that have been supporting me all of this time, that have went out and already bought the book. One of the members of my or subscribers on my YouTube channel actually sent me a message and say, did you know that your book was listed as a #1 new release? And I had to go there and take a screenshot. So I literally have the screenshot of it while it was there. It's not there anymore, but I had the social proof. Hey, I was a #1 new release on Amazon. And that only came because of the people that have supported me and that are literally interested in going deeper into voiceover and how to do it. The whole thing is in the setup, and how you start something is pretty much how it's going to go. People ask different questions about, where do you get royalty-free music? What is the best type of microphone to get? How do you set up your DAW to be more automated? There's so many different things, your audio interfaces, which ones are the best, and how should I use that in conjunction with, and then the whole audio processing thing, getting down deep into your digital audio workstation, your DAW, the software you use to record your voice, that gets so intricate. it is probably the longest learning curve is how to process your audio. Well, I can't say it is one of the longest learning curves. You may be very good and adept at that, but you may have a problem sounding natural. You may have a problem not sounding like you're reading a script, because this is important. These are skill sets that need to be developed in order to be a successful voiceover artist. Again, it's the reason why I do my live stream every Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that you can actually discover how to literally start, build, and grow a successful voiceover business. I only normally stream that on my YouTube channel. So you want to make sure, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, just go to YouTube and you can just type in youtube.com/Earl Hall Studio. It'll take you right to my page. Go there, subscribe, tick the bell so that you know when I go live and you know when I upload brand new videos for you. Any other questions from anyone? Because I'm here. I'll be happy to answer questions about voiceover, about the brand new book that's out right now that I hope you go and grab, Becoming a Voice Actor, the 4 steps to get you on your way. I definitely hope that you do grab that. Those of you that have grabbed it, thank you so much, and would definitely appreciate a review. If you have the time to go ahead and drop a review on Amazon, what you thought about the book, would definitely appreciate it. An open, honest review, because that just helps me get better and better and better. With that, but definitely here to want to take your questions. This broadcast was very impromptu. I just said, you know what, I'm going live. Hey, what's up, Brian? I'm trying to rock it, man, over on Facebook. Thanks for being here with me over on Facebook. I know John was over on YouTube. Who else is with me on YouTube, Facebook? We're broadcasting live right now on Facebook, my personal Facebook page, the Earl Hall Studio business page. We're broadcasting on LinkedIn, YouTube, and even Twitter. So I would love to hear from people from different platforms or whatever. Just go ahead and say, hey, Earl, if you're there, because I would love to know where my audience is coming in from mainly. So I know YouTube is here and I know Facebook is here as well. When you start talking about your microphones, because that is usually where people kind of key in on, it's like, what type of microphone ought I be using, right, in this whole voiceover thing? And when you're starting off, I always suggest, look, you don't know yet if this is what you're ultimately going to do, grab your USB microphone. They're as low, you can get them for $19. You know, there are some out there, they're not going to be the best sound quality, but you can at least start there and start understanding what it's going to take to start using some of the microphone techniques. The higher end microphones that are built for this thing, they sound amazing. But you have a wide range. When I first started off in voiceover, and I was using maybe a $50 USB microphone, and I was making money. And then I just continued to progress up from there. Hey, what's up, Centcast? How you doing there in Georgia, down the road from me up here in North Carolina? Thanks for being here over on Facebook with us today. Definitely appreciate you. You'll get, if you're a gearhead like I am, and I am a gearhead, and you can kind of see some of the stuff behind me, right? I am a gearhead. You can spend a ton of money in gear. You can spend a ton of money in gear. I love gear, and I'm always, from time to time, I'm looking to improve somewhat. I don't have much farther to go. Let's put it that way. There's probably not any more audio gear that I'm looking to purchase at this point. There's not a lot of audio gear that I'm looking to purchase, if any. But where you start is not normally where you quote unquote finish or evolve to, because you're going to be hanging around people in the industry through mediums like this on social media. You're going to be seeing what other folks are using and utilizing in their home studios. You're going to see the microphones, the audio interfaces. You're going to see their DAWs. You're going to be asking questions. And this is all in the learning. Again, because where you start many times is not where you're going to finish. And that's okay. But the start is the most important thing. The start is the thing that gets people hung up and stuck so many times, because they just don't know really what to do. right? They just don't know really what to do. So we're watching each other and we're getting advice and all of those types of things like that. But again, this is why I wrote this book, Becoming a Voice Actor, the 4 steps to get you on your way, so that you know the steps to take. You know what it's going to take to go ahead, get in here, and do this thing appropriately. Look, thanks for coming into my impromptu live stream today. You can, wherever you're watching me right now, you can leave me comments, you can leave me questions, and believe me, I'll answer you. Anyone that's following me on any of the platforms know that I answer you back. And so that is my MO. That's what I do. If you got questions, I've got some answers. Please, if I've ever done anything for you, given you any value, grab this book. It's $4.97 on Kindle. It's $9.97 in paperback. Go ahead and grab it. The official launch day is tomorrow, and I'll probably do another live stream then, just to come back and talk to you folks once more. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I'll see you later.